listening to Dad Crossing, a podcast about animals and parenting. Today, we chat about our experiences with the new Mario items, what we want for the future on our islands, and I share my story about the Tooth Fairy. Hey, Sean, play that funky music.
Well. Summertime.
Man, it has been a while when it's just like you and me, you know, it's cozy. We don't got, there's nobody, we don't got a third wheel, Sean. It's just you and me. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, cheers. Been very busy. Been a very busy week at work. Everybody at work trying to get all their holidays in. So it's like we've been running on minimum staff and then I've been working on other shifts. So that's why we put today's recording a bit behind, a day late. So, but yeah, other than that, being good. Everybody's back at school over here. So Lindsay's back at college teaching. The Jay is back at school full time. So she's like actually having to get up and dressed like a normal human being rather than just slumming around in.
Yeah, no PJs all day long.
Yeah, PJs at the laptop. So
yeah.
How about you? How are you doing?
Hey, you kind of feel it, right? Like, I don't know, like some people say it's the vaccine and I kind of wonder, is it just the fact that it's summertime or like we're moving towards the summer months and the numbers drop in summer? Like, I don't know. I don't really care, but it is nice. You can feel it, like stuff's starting to open back up here and there a little bit. And so I appreciate that. Our schools are starting to go back full time. Most of our public schools have kind of been a day, like half the school was on one day and then the other half of the school the other day. And so from what I heard, April is kind of like the starting point for everybody to try to go back full time. So yeah, I'm seeing that. I'll tell you, it's the time of the year, Sean, where my podcasting station, which is in the basement, is freezing cold because it's warming up. So we only have, we're not fancy where like the furnace has two different level thermostats to check. So the thermostat's upstairs and the upstairs is cozy at 69. But down here, the ground is still very frozen. And man, this basement is chilly. Let me tell you. So, and if I turn the furnace on upstairs, then I'm gonna like sweat them out just to get me to a comfortable temperature. So I'm just gonna wear a little couple extra layers and call it good.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice. I think like there's everything over here is going in like 6 week staggers. So the first stage first phase, as they're calling it, is getting all the kids back to school, and then like April 12th is things like gyms and restaurants, restaurants, like leisure facilities, so like swimming pools, indoor skate parks and stuff like that. They're all going to open back up, and it's like by UK's target is by June 21st, everything should be somewhat like normal. So, yeah. It's nice. It does sound amazing, but I'm also very skeptical because you've got to trust people.
Yeah.
that when you get that, like you loosen off on the restrictions a little bit, that not everybody's going to rush to do all the things they can't do, and we end up back in the same hole that we've been in, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be. Here it depends on what state you live in. Some states are completely open, and it's like some states have barely ever been closed, quite frankly. My Michigan is not one of those states. We just opened restaurants to 50%. So I believe theaters are still closed. I don't know. I've never really had an inkling to try to go to a theater yet at this point. So I don't really know, but I'm pretty sure they're still closed. So I know that we're looking at 75% in the next like month or two, I think is what I heard. So we'll see. I will say that you see it. You see it around here. I mean, people are, I don't know. I mean, people for the most part still wear masks and stuff, but like when you go to the churches are back on. I was actually a little a little nervous. We started going back to church this last month, and I was like, I just was looking around, and there is so many people in service. Like we started initially going back in December just to see what it would be like, and there was hardly anybody in there. And then we got COVID, and I was like, okay. I was like, well, this was probably a bad idea. And so we kind of laid low for a few more months, but now we thought we would try back again. But man, there's just so many people in there. I'm like, there's part of me that's like, this is great. And there's part of me that's like, this is a horrible idea, all at the same time. So I don't know. We'll see. You're looking at me strange.
I'm just reading. So somebody's literally, as we're recording, somebody's put something in the Animal Crossing sub to do with the Dream Islands. So I was trying to quickly read that and thought it might be something that, yeah.
oh, is it the Nintendo mission? I think I saw that.
It is the Nintendo mission, yeah.
Yeah, for Mario pin sets. I don't know if the second Mario pin set's still available, but it was as of the Dads After Dark recording. I listened to that, which would have been earlier this week, I believe. And John said they were still available because he was trying to hunt them down. So I got mine. It's beautiful. I'm a big fan. Loving it. So
see, I'd love it. I'd want the Super Mario World Yoshi pin. That's a lot of nostalgia for that cover. So
yeah. No, they didn't come to UK, right?
Nope. So you get all the good stuff.
Well, it depends on what you're thinking about. So, there have been some special editions that have not made it over here to America that you guys have got. So, yeah, it's a give or take, that's for sure. All right, Mr. Sean, what have you been playing this in the last couple of weeks?
So, as a change from the norm for me, I've been making a bit of use of the Game Pass on the Xbox. So, seeing what different stuff's out there. I downloaded the game, and I spoke about it briefly in the last episode, but been playing a lot more of Wreckfest, which is it's a lot of fun. If you like Demolition Derby style gameplay for cars, it's hilarious. You can there was a mode the other day that I was playing, and it was a figure of 8 track, and you were racing around on lawnmowers.
I love it.
But then at the same time as you racing around on lawnmowers, there was one combine harvester driving around as well. So it's
trying to mow you down, basically.
Yeah, basically you get to avoid the combine harvester and try and knock other people off their lawnmowers at the same time. It's just really fun, really, really, really random. So,
and this is this a 360 game, an old 360 game, or what is it?
No, it's made for. I think it was made for the Xbox One, so it's quite recent.
Oh, yeah, wow, okay.
It's quite a lot of fun. So, I know the next one with Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, I've been dipping in and out of that, trying to get the stars and stuff and the cat shines in Bowser's Fury, but the Bowser's Fury is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I mean, and I don't think it's where you have to ride the one where you had to ride the ice skate down the slope.
Yeah, that one's a bear.
That took some time. So
now I will admit there are some difficult things. I'm playing with Noah, and Bowser Jr. can be a ton of help. He is if you're I don't know how much help he is when you're playing by yourself. Like I don't know, but like Noah plays as him, and he gets some of the coins where I'll be like, "There's a coin way out there. Can you just get that for me, Noah?" And I mean, he can fly out there and grab coins. He can't get cat shines, but any like the 5 coins you need to get a cat shine, he can get those. He's a lot of help in that game. So I don't really have a feel for how it would be to play it single player. In fact, I've never played the game single player. I've always played it with Noah.
You can use so Mario 3D World, where you can press on the screen to, like, if you held it handheld, you can tap on the screen and like bump boxes. But then also, if you're using like the Joy-Cons or the gyro effect on the Joy-Cons or the Pro Controller. You can like move the little dot around and I think use one of the bumper buttons. That does the same sort of thing. In Bowser's Fury, it's exactly the same as that. You can kind of like direct him to somewhere and send him off, and if you keep hitting him, he'll go further away.
Gotcha.
But it does ask when you play single player, like how much help you want from him. But I've got it set to none.
Oh, okay.
But so like he doesn't just go off and do it on his own, and kind of like you have to direct him. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, no is very helpful. So I'm sure playing it that way would be much more difficult, especially with those coins. Like I said, those coins are like, he's just awesome with that. He just goes and gets them or whatever. If there's one that's difficult, he just flies over and gets it. So
I've got the feeling that if I gave it to Logan, he'd just fly around in circles.
Yeah. I mean, Noah's 7, so he's getting around and doing the stuff. And so I remember when Noah was Cappy, he always wanted to be Cappy for Mario, and it was super annoying because I was just like, no, I just need you to do one thing. No, just do this one thing. And then you can do whatever you want. I need you to do this one thing. Yeah, I've been playing it too. I've rolled credits on it, but I haven't gotten any further than that. So I still got a lot of cat shines to go and get and find and all that jazz. Hopefully I can get that done because I am not dabbling in it. I'm like plunged deep into it, trying to get it done before this monthly mayhem that John and Drew have put on.
When does that one finish?
What?
When does that one finish?
The 14th, I believe. I'm fairly certain. Okay. So in like 5 days or something like that. But by the time our listeners are hearing this tomorrow, I believe, if I'm correct. So yeah, I'm trying to get it done. I'm trying to get it done by then. And so I haven't even made it back to Bowser's Fury because I was like, I'm just going to knock out 3D World and call it done. That game goes on forever. Like,
yeah, I was the same. I rolled credits on 3D World, 200 odd stars, and then the first bonus world opened up, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And then I think I saw on Discord somebody posted it as a spoiler, the second bonus world, and I was like, "Yeah, no."
Yeah, see, I missed that. Probably good thing I did, or else I probably would have been in your boat. So, like on Sunday. Good thing. By the way, it's a good thing we were a day late. On Sunday, I stayed up till 2 a.m. because I was like, all right, I'm going to clean up the main 8 worlds of 3D World, get all the stars and all the stamps that I missed. We had beaten it earlier that day, and I thought that's what I'm going to do. So I clean it up. It took me forever to find the rocket, for one. Okay, maybe I'm dense or whatever, but it took me forever to find the little fairies and where the rocket was to take me to Star World. Okay, so I find Star World, and then tonight I'm like, all right, I'm gonna finish it up, finish Star World, so I get 3 stars and all the stamps in Star World, and I'm like, I'm not done. There's like this very large bonus world. It's got a ton of levels, and I'm like, are you serious? And I'm like, okay, so I had to put it down and come down and complain to you about how it looked, actually, quite frankly. How it just keeps going.
It's great for somebody that wants to be a completionist because it's giving you so much content.
Yeah, it's
which
true.
Is something that I really like about Mario games, is always that you can carry on if you want to do this, or if you don't want to carry on, you roll credits, you can put the game down and walk away.
Or you can have sadists like John and Drew that force you to do it because now you feel like you're already there. You just got to finish it even if you don't want to. They're like, here's this really good pie. Eat the whole thing. No, I could just go, but I can't. Like if I decide I'm going to be part of the monthly mayhem, I'm like all in. I got to go as far as I can. It's just how it works. So anyways, I'm sorry. I know I crapped on the game, but I really do like it. I'm having a great time. I just want it to be over, and it's not over yet.
Yeah, it's been my favorite 3D Mario game so far.
Bowser's Fury.
And that's above Odyssey, because I really, really enjoyed Odyssey. But this one, I like how there isn't a level as such. It's just carries on. So
I like the overall design. I agree with. I mean, I could lose like the cat motif over every single thing in the island. But in general, if you're just talking about like how the game is built out, yeah, I'm in on like an open world, not like what are they a fancy they call it the wide linear worlds, but like a very like what you got there in Bowser. I'd be good with that. Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is as soon as that rain starts, I panic.
Yeah.
It's like I panic because I know there's going to be loads of fireballs and everything coming, but also I'm like, oh, where did I see those bricks that I need to break?
Right? Yeah, totally. That's a serious thing. Find the bricks so you can get the cat shine so you can make him leave you alone. Yeah, I mean, I didn't find it. I know there are some people that find the repetitiveness of Bowser coming out annoying. I didn't think it was too bad. I thought, he came out. He didn't come out too often where I was super annoyed. Sometimes I was like, he's out again, and it just seems so fast. But yeah, I didn't think it was too bad. I will say it's fun to play with Noah because he's like he freaks out before even the rain. He starts like the moment he sees the shell start to rise out of the water and start spinning around. He's like, "The rain's gonna start, Dad! The rain's gonna start!" So it's that's been fun. So yeah, but I agree. I don't know if it's above Odyssey, but I certainly would love to see what they could do in a full game with this format.
Yeah, if they took the controls and the abilities that Mario had in Odyssey with Cappy and gave it the Bowser's Fury open world stuff, that'd be great.
Yep, I'd be down. I'd be down for that.
So the other two games I've been playing are both mobile games. So because I've not been able to get my fill of playing Call of Duty at home because I've barely been at home, I downloaded the mobile version, which has actually been quite good. It's a ton easier. Like I downloaded it, loaded it up, played a battle royale, and won my first one straight away. I was like, nah, okay, completed that.
So are you playing with the same people that you would play with on Xbox? Or?
No, it's completely different servers. Different, okay. Yeah. Similar format, but completely different island, completely different skins, everything. So even the battle pass is separate. So
oh wow, okay, I got you.
Yeah, and then the other game I've been playing is a game called Death Spreading, which sounds horrific, but it's not. It's very like Enter the Gungeon style gameplay. So you're just running around. It auto fires to like kill zombies basically. So you drop into you're in a level, you start in a level. It's a very small closed area that you can't run out of, but there's like buildings and cars and stuff that you've got to run in between. Okay. And basically there's like, I think the level starts, there's like 600 zombies, and the aim of the game is to get down to 0, and you just run around and shoot them. Big bosses appear every now and then, and then while you're playing, help gets sent in by parachute. So you pick them up and like you might have 2 people, so it becomes like you like upgrade your weapons basically. You collect coins from killing zombies, and then there's like a whole level up process. So collect the coins, collect chests, wait for the chest to open, get cards to upgrade your people, and collect more people. It's pretty good. It's one of those that when like you just want to pass 20 minutes. It's quite easy to sit and pass 20 minutes quite.
Sure.
It doesn't take a right lot of attention. You can, once you get to a certain point, like I think I'm in the second chapter now, you can kind of just stand still because the people are powerful enough to almost stand still. You just got to be wary of a few like higher level zombies that might appear that you might have to start moving around. So, but yeah, it's a good time killer.
Yeah, time killer. It sounds like it's a way to kind of not only pass the time, but not have to think, like to just be able to meld, just kind of go away for a little bit. Trying to think what I'm trying to say, but yeah, that's cool. Sounds good. Anything else, man?
Just the usual little bits of Warzone, normal Call of Duty when I've kind of like had half an hour. Like I say, I've barely been at home this week, so I think from Monday last week, I had Thursday off, and then today is my first day off.
And here you are spending it with us. Thank you so much.
Get to wake up my only day off this week, and I get to wake up early.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We really do. So for me, I've been playing Super Mario 3D World. That's kind of been my big, and Bowser's Fury. That's kind of been my big game in the last couple weeks. But I've also been playing a couple of small games for reviews. I did. Maybe I've talked about this last podcast. Actually, I'm not entirely certain, but I played a game called Gravifier, which is this like puzzler game. It's gravity based, kind of. You move these boxes, and you have to land them on pressure switches. And that's been a fun game to play, or that was a fun game to play. It's only 50 levels, easy to pick up, play for a little bit, drop back out. That's the fun environmental puzzler. The next one I played also for a review, Anodyne 2 Return to Dust. This one was a funky one. This one actually is one of the few games where I started to play in the meaning to do a review. And I got like 3/4 of the way through it, and I just couldn't find the script in my head to actually do a review. So I ended up just scrapping that, going back and doing like a 30-minute Let's Play, because I was like, that's the best thing I can do at this point. So to back up a little bit, it's a game that starts, it's in an open 3D world, pretty much. The 3D world is very polygonal, like low to no textures, kind of N64 style, I guess is the best way I can tell you, which is part of the thing. Like the game is just, it's a really tough when it's just a game that doesn't attach to you. Like I absolutely hate that art style. Like N64 is not my jam. Like I just don't think that art style looks pretty anymore. Like it's definitely
not aged well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like you go to GameCube and it's kind of more of a hand-drawn style, which is cool, and the polygons are more. If you drop back to Super NES, it's that pixelated style, which I think is still like super artistic and has some real, if it done well, has some real class. But I don't know, the N64 is just
It was the N64 was a frustrating era between going from 32-bit, which was like Sonic on the Mega Drive, and the Super NES, to the PlayStation, like being at 128.
Yeah.
So it was like they were trying so hard to force 64 bits of data to progress into 3D, but obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just so that's like how you start out in this 3D world, and then the story is like really funky. You are birthed out into the main world, and you clean this nano dust, and you have to go around and you like talk to people, and then you go inside them and clean the dust out of them. But when you go inside of them, I know. When you go inside of them, it takes you to like a top-down 2D kind of view. And let me tell you, that to me is the funnest part of this game. I don't know why they don't just do the whole thing that way, which actually I read later on that Anodyne 1 was that way. The levels are kind of fun. They kind of remind you of like a top-down 2D Zelda dungeon. Kind of, you know, I mean, you're just going around trying to solve puzzles, killing some simple enemies, boss at the end, blah, blah, blah. And that's my favorite part. That game did not sit well with me. Hence the reason I thought I can't do a really good review. So I just did a Let's Play.
Very quickly, the Gravifier is, how much is that on the eShop at the moment?
Like $5, I think.
Ah, cool. Because I quite like pressure switch kind of puzzle games. So
this will really be your jam then. I mean, you have gravity bar. Well, the gravity bars will vary, but you can have them on like either 1, 2, 3, or all the sides of the map, and you just use the left stick to activate which gravity bar you want, and then that moves the gravity that way, and then your guy can push the boxes to try to get them where they need to be. And they start out super simple. Like I said in my review, you get 5 passes when you play the 50 levels. You get 5 levels that you can just skip, 5 skips. And save those skips for the 40s, because you're going to think that it's difficult in like the 30s, but man, you get into like the 40 levels. And I mean, the last level, I'm not going to lie, I went to YouTube. It was already out on Steam. I just could not figure it out. I went to YouTube to have them, like, I'd already used all my skips and I had to do a walkthrough on YouTube to figure out how to do it. I was like, I can't.
I'm one of those people that, like in Mario and Zelda, when there was like the sliding block puzzles to try and drop them, like especially in Zelda, to drop them in the hole where you needed to drop them.
Yeah.
I absolutely love those.
Yeah. See, and I like most recently it would be Immortals Phoenix Rising, but then I think, was it Wind Waker that had a bunch of slide puzzles too? I hated those things. I absolutely hated those things, man. I mean, I normally like puzzlers, but I really hate slide puzzles. That, I don't know, they do something with my brain that I just can't keep track of. Last game for me, I just submitted the review for it. It's out now. It's called Mail Mole. Very funky name. You play as a mole who is a mail carrier who needs to deliver all these reset codes for power plants in Carrot Land. So because some horrible person has shut the power off in Carrot Land and they can't have a carrot festival. Let me tell you, it's funky and it's cute, and it actually is a pretty decent 3D platformer game. You're a mole, you're jumping, you're platforming from space to space. It's got, I think, like 40 levels. They get pretty difficult at the top levels. It has a real 3D, Super Mario 3D world feel to it. Like, I mean, your mole can ground pound and I mean, when you start playing it, you're like, oh, I see all it's that 3D mode that's exactly like 3D Super Mario 3D World, where your camera is for the most part stuck in one direction, but you can move the depth of field of that level. And so, yeah, it just feels a lot like it. But for all intents and purposes, the jump needs a little tweaking, and the textures on the art could use some help. But it's $15. So for $15, I really feel like you get your money worth. I really enjoyed it, quite frankly. So that's me.
What I like about that is that you play a mole handing out reset codes. So you're basically playing as Risei.
I love it. I never picked that up. That's so good. That's so good. Yeah, that's true. That is kind of the funky thing too. You barely ever see your character. Like, I thought when I got the game, I really thought it was going to be a game where I was above ground and could dig. But this is a game where you pretty much dig. For 90% of the game, you are like a pile of dirt moving through the level. I mean, you only see yourself when you choose to jump out of the ground to get onto something or over something. So yeah, it's very funky in that way. But it's a good game. I was pleasantly surprised. So that's me, man.
Yeah, I've not got much else. I'd say I'd hope to be playing something this week, but Lindsay's off work today. She doesn't work. Well, she's not off work. She's got to go do her mentoring hours for a postgraduate that she's doing. Gotcha. So she'll be back at 11. So I'll probably go back to bed when the kids and stuff have gone to school, and then when she gets back at 11, we're going for a walk. So I probably won't play her a lot of stuff. She's got her online school tonight, so I might try and get online, see if one of my buddies is online to do a bit of Call of Duty, but that's about it. So yeah,
nice.
I've got a week off as of the 22nd, so that's when I'll get some gaming in.
You hope, right?
Oh, no,
or you'll just do a million small household projects that you didn't realize you were going to have to do.
Yeah, there's always that.
Yeah. Well, let's chat about some of these new Animal Crossing updates.
So, Isabel's morning announcements. How have you been finding those Mario items? Like, what have you done with them so far?
I'm not gonna lie, they flummox me. Like my island, unless I want to rip up large portions of my island. Like I'm like, what am I doing with these things? I mean, I love that they're there. Don't get me wrong. I am very happy that we have Mario items. I don't want them to not be there. But when it comes to design, I just am like, so I had an idea to do a side scroller like Mario 1-1, but it was like I planned it out on paper and I would have had to like blow away multiple pieces of my island to make this happen. And I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, they seem quite large items, so it's difficult to, like you say, to make something designed specifically for that.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go away and smash all your island to pieces.
Now, I haven't yet broke out Paper Mario because, as we all know, my main feature of my island is Toad Town. I need to break out Paper Mario to remember where all the special coins and blocks are so that I can at least like deck out Toad Town to look more like Toad Town, which will be very nice. I mean, that'll be one thing I can do, which will be really cool. But yeah, like making a separate thing like I thought I would do has turned out very difficult, and I feel bad. I feel like I should be able to think of something more than what I have. What about you? What are you got?
I really like the coins, so I've got them. I've just got them in places. So I must have something like 20 something coins on the island now.
Nice.
So wherever there's like a little path at the base of a cliff, like next to the water's edge, there's just a row of coins. So every time I run past that, I get that nice coin sound.
That's cool.
So,
that's cool.
I bought one of everything.
Yeah.
But so like the upstairs room in the house, I think I dropped a picture in the Discord. I've basically turned that into a Mario shrine. So I've got the Mario wallpaper, the Mario floor, blocks everywhere with all the different power-ups on. When you walk through the doorway, there's 2 question mark blocks that you hit, and there's coins all over the floor. And so I've like all the rugs and everything. So I've used all the items where possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say the only other thing that I have thought about doing with coins or maybe question blocks is, and I don't know if this is possible, because I'm not a super music guy, to be fair, but if you could make like a runner of the coins to do like a song, if you could use it like da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, and like if you run and collect the coins at just the right time, it makes that song. I don't know if that's possible. That's the only other thing I've thought about doing, but I haven't really broke it out to actually try it yet. So yeah. I wanted to give that a shot. We'll see.
I'm not sure.
I'm not either. But what
you can do is you can change your island's theme tune. So every time you speak to a villager, you get a different version of the Mario theme.
Yeah, I don't know why I haven't done that. It's like it's like an easy Nook achievement. I'm sitting here doing all the hard ones. It's an easy Nook achievement that I could get. I've written on the flag, and there's still that one available Nook achievement for the town tune. And I always say I'm going to do it, and I just haven't yet.
So you never changed it from the original?
I didn't know.
It's one of the first things I did.
I know. You know, one night, I don't know, probably six or so months ago, I went out online and looked at a bunch of different songs, and I was like, I kind of like that one. I kind of like that one, like a bunch of tunes people did. Because again, I am not a musical guy. Like I could not make heads nor tails out of actually doing this myself. But then I don't know, I never really settled on one, and I just moved on, and I still haven't done it. But now that we're having this conversation, darn it, Sean, it's going to be done before our next podcast. I can tell you that
much. I think mine's the Lost Woods.
Yeah, you told me that. That sounds, yeah.
But I think it is time for it to change. I'm just listening now, see if I can. So somebody's done one on YouTube.
man, people are so good with that kind of stuff. There's no way I could make that happen.
So
Yeah.
I like it because every time you speak to somebody different, you get that different version of it, and it's good. Yeah. So like if I speak to Caesar, I get like a really low, kind of lost words kind of thing. So.
That is, that's good. Well, I did throw on Twitter and see what people's favorite songs that they're. What's your town song that you're using? Your town tune that you're. See what people are doing, and if you're listening, hit us up on Discord or on Twitter. Tell us what your town tune is. Help me out here. Give me a tune that I should be using for my town. It's empty at the moment.
That's it. Hashtag Nick's Island tune.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like so. You sound a little bit deflated with the Mario stuff that it's difficult to do something with.
And it's totally on me, to be fair. Like, it's not like, I mean, Nintendo just gives you the items. I'm supposed to be able to figure out something to do with it. And so, yeah, I mean, I think what they've done and how they've done it is fine. I like that the shopping thing doesn't bug me. I like that they're easy to attain. I think that's great. I'm glad we don't have another Christmas debacle. Yeah, man. I mean,
I wish you could get more than 5. I wish you could get more than 5 a day.
Yeah.
I know you've got Ariel's account to use and stuff like that, so you've got that. But yeah, that 5 a day is, it forced me into being a time pirate just to get more than what I needed.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Chad? Hey, it's Chad, our Discord guy. He had a whole Mario level before the end of like March 1st. He was like posted. I was like, how did you do this? He was like, I wanted to get it done. He was like, I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I will, however, so Bob Cousy on the Discord posted the Dream Island address for the Mario 35 Dream Island to visit. So I am going to go there and have a look at what Nintendo have done.
I need to do that. Yeah, I knew they did that, but I haven't made it. I haven't made it there yet. So yeah, maybe that'll give me some inspiration. On that note, that I talk about the fact that I can't figure out what to design on the island, we do have a design contest going until March 20th.
We do.
So yeah, you can send us. So what we're doing is 30-second videos, and you can send them. You can either post them to Discord if it'll fit, which I don't think it will. So you can either add us on Twitter with your 30-second video off of the Switch, or you can shift it over to your phone and send it to me at nickmetzger@mac.com. And that would be great. We would love to have you enter our contest. There will be eShop cash involved for whoever wins. We will pit them against each other. I'll take your videos, mash them into like a side-by-side challenge with an A and A and B, and people can vote for whether they're like A and B. So then we'll do a tournament style breakdown of all of your videos. And whoever wins will win some money. eShop cash money. So
cold hard cash.
Yeah,
it's pandemic, so you'll make do with the electronic cash.
That's right. So sorry for the flub up there, but yeah. So join our Mario contest.
Yep. So we're coming up to a year old. We've got that 12 months of free DLC or free updates as Mario promises when we first got Animal Crossing. What's going to happen next? I know somebody, I think Frosticles has asked this question earlier, but yeah, what happens next? What do we get? Do we have to start paying for our extra content, or what's?
There's got to be DLC.
Yeah, there's got to be something. This game was a Game of the Year contender for him, so.
And there's got to be paid DLC. Like there just has to. There's 25 million? Is that what I don't know. There's a bunch of copies.
33, I think, was it?
Is that what it is? I have no idea. There's a lot. There's millions and millions of Animal Crossing copies. And if they did paid DLC that was worthy, a lot of them would buy it. And if they did it for $10, they'd make a killing. So like there's got to be paid DLC.
31.18 million.
Yeah.
Copies. So that's even if they even if it was $5 for like not a season pass, but like this gets you phase 1 of the new DLC, $5. That's a lot of dollars.
That is a lot of dollars. And I mean, listen, if you gave me a sandbox island that I could fly to, I'd pay easy $20. Easy. Probably more, but let's not talk about that. Let's just say no more than 20. I mean,
100. If you did it at $5, they'd make $165 million.
Yeah. I mean, give me another island. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff they can do. There's certainly going to be paid DLC. What it looks like, God, if I know. I'm not even gonna lie. What would I like to see? I'd like to see some quality of life changes. That's what I'd like to see as the last free update for this year. Is just a ton of quality life changes that involve being able to purchase more items, more than one item from Abel's, that lets me see what items I currently have in my storage when I'm purchasing items, that lets me craft more than one item. I could go on for a long time about just a bunch of minor but very important quality of life changes. That would be huge. Absolutely huge.
I need a new vendor on the island. It's nice that we get red every now and then, because obviously that's to prolong the finishing of your museum, like somebody has.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need another vendor. I need something else to like fulfill the daily tasks on the island, because that's where I'm struggling with the game now. Is I go on, I pick up the weeds, I pick up the sticks, I pick up the stones, talk to the villagers, see what's new at Abel's, see what's new in Nook's Cranny, which isn't much nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Place my new Mario items that I've ordered from the day before, and then kind of like sit there and twiddle my thumbs. Like, I could do some fishing, I could catch some bugs, but no.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. No, when you say vendor, do you mean somebody who is there continuously, or somebody who pops in, is in the rotation of animals?
I'd rather have like a new building, so a complete new task that you've got to like get villagers involved in wanting to have this person to build a shop on the island. Something like that.
I completely 100% agree with that. I would like, I don't care if it's Brewster. I think that's great. If you really want to make me just like fall over, bring Copper and Booker back. I would absolutely love to see those two back in action. I'd love to see, like, I don't know, some storyline that brings the police department back to the island, and Copper and Booker are back on. Man, that would be like just so cool. That would make my day.
Yeah, but they have such a range of characters to bring back for things like that's what should be happening now. It's got to a point where people who used to really enjoy the game back, like yourself, from the first few generations, are now wanting the stuff from before to come. And people who only picked up this generation of Animal Crossing are probably at a point where they want more because they really enjoyed the game and they want something else to do. So,
Yeah, and you are right. I mean, the cast of characters is deep that aren't in, New Horizons. I mean, people talk about that all the time. It's usually why people say, well, New Leaf was a better game because there were more characters and blah blah blah. And so, yeah, I would love to see that. I mean, they would definitely, I don't want to say definitely. They would more than likely be paid DLC, which, I'd be okay with. Speaking of DLC, are we gonna have eggs? What's your over under? Are we gonna have eggs in what? Less than a month at this point. We would have eggs.
Easter, yeah. Probably. I don't know. That I get like PTSD from the last Easter event. So as soon as you mention it, it's like, oh no. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to run this year. It'd be nice for it to be. They've had enough events now where they know the format and should be able to get the format better than it was. So who knows? There's a lot of ifs and buts and coconuts for this game at the moment. So
That's totally true. I mean, it actually is pretty fun. Like, it's fun to think. But I'll be honest, this first month will be a big month for Animal Crossing fans to see what Nintendo will do. I mean, it'll be very telling. If we have eggs and everything's exactly the same, then I think you pretty much have a view of what's happening. Like, you're gonna get updates, but you can pretty much expect what you had last year. I mean, if they come out and say Easter 2.0, this is how it's going to work, and these are the new items, and this is what you got, and new DIYs, and blah blah. Then wow, you're gonna really see what Nintendo's got planned for year 2. If they don't,
if they come and just go, hey, look, and we're
remember Easter
in the middle of it.
It's back, baby. Then you're pretty much like, oh, okay, well, all right, then that's what we got. I mean, so this month is an interesting month for Animal Crossing fans for sure.
Definitely. So, do you want to share your bragging rights of what you've achieved?
Of course I do. I mean, this is really special for just me. I mean, as a personal level, I'm a collector. Like, I mean, I like to design an Animal Crossing, but what draws me to Animal Crossing is collecting all this stuff. And I have never stuck with an Animal Crossing game long enough to finish the entire museum. And so, as I shared in my on our last cast, I was going after all the paintings, and let me tell you, that sucked me in deep. And so I have finished my museum. I got all the paintings. March rolled around, and when March came, I stayed around on March 1st to collect the final 2 sea creatures I needed. Don't remember what they were. It's like a large spider crab, I believe, and then a firefly squid. Yep, I just remembered them. And so I collected those 2, and I have fully finished my museum with no time travel. So, as much as that probably is bragging rights, I am more just excited that I was able to do it. Also, thank you to all the Nintendo Dad people who voted for me for the best accomplishment for the Dads After Dark Daddy Awards, which is an awkward name, but I can get behind it. I really do appreciate that. That was shocking when I saw it on the list. I was like, oh, I'm not going to get that. But I do appreciate that. That means much more to me than anything Blathers could ever have told me. Let me tell you that.
Did you so when you've given stuff to Blathers, have you always listened to what he could tell you about those animals?
Not always, no.
No, I'm gonna say that is that an achievement in itself to go back to him and say, "Tell me about this."
Yeah, no, not always. I did probably 50-50 is what I'll say, especially in the beginning, because when you have multiple items, you don't. He doesn't offer it when you give multiple items. So there were many times I gave more than 2 I'd give 2 or more at a time. So
now you've finished your museum and you've completed everything. Do you just fish for fun now?
No, I am now moving on to Nook achievements Don't do this, people. Let me tell you, just don't do it. That's all I can say. It's a horrible idea, but I decided to do it, and no, I just can't jump off that bandwagon. So I chose the catch 5,000 fish, which I think I mentioned the last cast because I was doing it then, and I'm still doing it. I have 400 more fish to catch before I reach 5,000. And let me tell you, Sean, it's going to be a long time before I pick up a pole to fish. Let me tell you. Sounded awkward. So let me pick up a pole to fish. I'm tired of fishing.
That's a lot. It's not only a lot of fish, but that's a lot of fishing rods. So
it is, but that actually feeds into another achievement I'm going to need, which is crafting 3,000 tools. So that's fine. Yeah. So I just craft them, and it adds to the list. At some point, I'm probably going to be crafting tools just to get that achievement. But hope the next time we talk, I'll be done with this one, and I will move on. I will be moving on to diving for sea critters. I still need 1,000, by the way. Spoiler.
Wow, that's a lot of repetitive button pressing, especially for the crafting of tools. When totally I was crafting all the axes.
If you buy an Animal Crossing Switch, I think it should come with an extra pair of Animal Crossing Joy-Cons. Can I tell you that? Because, man, these things can't last for much longer. I have pressed those buttons so many times. That's all. It's not just that.
It's just continuous free maintenance for the A button. Because that's all you're hearing. Just...
Totally true.
So we're not going to do Nooks Prices Right this week. Well, this episode anyway, because we are having a super special crossover with Tim and his dinner table.
Yay!
So far, the roster of people that are turning up is pretty good. We've got H. Chad. I think Frosticles wanted to join, but he couldn't, unfortunately. Let me just find where are we?
Yeah, I think Chris HL94 is taking a spot. So what we're doing here as people are going to be first off, to be part of the dinner table, you have to be a Patreon, at least like the $1. You have to have access to Discord. That's all I'm going to say. I don't really know much more than that, but you have to have access to Discord in one of the numerous ways that you can get it through the Nintendo Dads Patreon. And then anybody can be part of the dinner table if from there. But we have 5 spots now, not 5 anymore. Now we have 3 left, I believe. 3 spots left of people who can come onto my island. We're just going to hang out on the old podcasting station that we used with the Nintendo Dads. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Going to add the Nintendo wallpaper and flooring. We're going to ditch the coffee tables and get us a proper dinner table in there. I'm going to throw some food on there. We're going to get rid of the arcades because Lord knows you can't hear anything with those arcades in that room. And,
so loud.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Can't shut them off either. And we're just going to have a good time. So 8 people are going to be on my island, but if you can't get on the island or you don't have Animal Crossing, you don't want to, but you still like to hang out with us, then you can be part of Discord and be listen and chat from there. So
you could be a ghost on the island.
Ghost on the island. I think that's what Dan said he was going to do. He's excited to be a ghost on my island. So
I think there's just looking through the people that put something out. I think Andros is going to try and stay awake for the dinner table.
That's a good point, Sean. We didn't tell them. It's at midnight. This is always difficult. God, we always have trouble with this. It's midnight on Saturday, the 20th.
It's not. It's midnight the Friday going into Saturday the 20th.
Is that how do you say it to not get people confused? Is that how you say it? It's welcome to Dad Crossing, people, where we don't know anything about anything.
A podcast about trying to figure out time zones. That's all we ever do.
The best way to say is it's on Saturday, but it's at the legit start of the day at midnight.
Yeah. So
we have Friday, this problem.
Friday.
And for those of you who have guessed it,
into
know this.
Saturday morning.
Yeah. For those of you who guessed it, know this. I screw this up all the time on how to explain that we podcast at midnight on that day, and then people think it's the next day. I know that's probably confusing. Anyways, whatever. Nobody cares. Let's move on.
So,
but come out and join us. That's the point. Come out and join us on the 20th, the actual anniversary of Animal Crossing at midnight. It'll be a lot of fun. We got some events planned. It'll be a good time.
So we're going to save Nook's Price is Right for then, because I think that'll be a really good dinner table game to play.
Yeah, for sure.
So on that note, shall we head over to Dad Corner?
Let's do it. Welcome to the Dad Corner. I just wanted to tell a funny story. And actually, it's twice as funny because I was just listening to Dads After Dark. And if you don't listen to them, you should go out and subscribe to their Dads After Dark. They're a Nintendo dad. Also, by the way, it's only for the adults. It's not a kid-friendly podcast.
Don't let them hear it.
After Dark. But you should go out and subscribe to them, give them a listen. But anyways, I was listening to their most recent episode, and Drew was telling a very funny Tooth Fairy story, which, FYI, if you got kiddos, we're given the deep, dark secrets of Tooth Fairy, so we don't want the kiddos to know all the secrets of the Tooth Fairy. So, if they're around, you might want to stop or usher them into a different room. So, first off, let's start from the very beginning. My son's tooth is super loose, and I'm like, listen, Noah, you just need to pull that thing, just pull it. Just yank it out. It's barely hanging on there. It's like by a flap of skin. And he's like, no, I won't do it. It'll hurt. And I'm like, you won't even notice it. He won't do it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to force the issue, whatever. So we are at his great grandma's. He calls his Nana. And she gives him some crackers, and I'm doing some stuff for her. And so all of a sudden Noah comes to me and he's like, Dad, is it okay if I ate my tooth? And I'm like,
no.
I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, I think I ate my tooth. I can't find it. And I was like, well, I guess so. And I really played it up, to be honest. I was like, I don't know. Maybe you have to pay the Tooth Fairy because she was budgeting for that tooth. So not really certain how this works. No.
It's a cleanup job, so she needs hazard pay.
Exactly, yeah. And so, he was all flummoxed for that for a while until he got home, and Mom was like, "No, your dad's just kidding." And I was like, "Why'd you let him off so easy?" And so anyway, so he puts the tooth under the pillow, and it was a long day. Mom and Dad were tired, and so we fell asleep and kind of forgot about the Tooth Fairy. Forgot to call in the Tooth Fairy, And so my wife wakes up and realizes, crap, we forgot to do this. And she runs into the room, and Noah is waking up. Has yet to check the pillow. He's just kind of groggy waking up, but not to the point to where you could take out the stuff and put in the money and do, blah, blah, change everything around. Not possible.
You see, sleight of hand. She should have gone in there prepared and just give him a hug, sleight of hand. Hey, who knows?
Wife Joel's a different story. She was like, Noah, you need to get up. And he's like, oh, he's kind of I can hear it. Our rooms are across the hall from each other. So I can hear him. He's like, oh, wow, why? He's like, you need to go feed the cat. And he's like, why do I need to feed? You need to feed the cat, Noah. You need to feed the cat. And so she's like, go feed the cat. And he's like, okay. And I hear him say something about the tooth. And she's like, right now, feed the cat. Which the cat bowl is on the other side. So I see him half asleep, stagger out of the room, okay, I'm gonna go feed the cat. so he goes out, and my wife like quickly like does the deed, calls in the fairy, boom, boom, bang, boom, done. And then he's by the time he gets back, she's like, "Hi, sweetie. Have you checked the tooth yet? Is the tooth?" And you can tell he's like, "Who is this woman?" She just like totally yelled the junk at him, and now she's like all sweet and nuts. And I'm just like, I haven't even got out of bed yet, to be honest. I'm just like cracking up in the bedroom, being like, I can't believe it. And he's like, no. He's like, no, I haven't. And then and so I tell you, it was like, it'll be a memory of parenting that I always remember, because it's just like that poor kid. Like he was just like, the cat. I gotta go feed the cat. I don't know why. Maybe it's about to die.
That's it. There's nothing worse than waking up suddenly and then like being told something's got to happen. Like, because you kind of spend that whole time going, but okay, am we gonna go do it now? Yeah.
But it worked. Like, she got what she needed. She got him out of the room. Hadn't checked the pillow yet, and so we.
You see, we got full on busted. I think we managed it so well with Jay, like, because Lindsay did Jay's really, really well. I didn't meet Jay till she was 8, so I didn't have experience of the tooth fairy business. Sure. So when Emily started losing her teeth, that was my first like real like dealing with it, basically, and I got busted. Like, she was asleep, and like, called the tooth fairy and was like, "Hey, look, you gotta come get this tooth. It's happened." And she's like, "No, I can't do it. It's like, I'm too busy, got too many teeth to collect, so you're gonna have to, it's your job tonight." And and I got busted, and then she was like, "What are you doing?" So I'm doing the tooth fairy's job. She's like, "But why is the tooth fairy not doing it?" And I was like, "Well," and like I said to her, "So when you become," and I say it to Logan all the time about like with Santa. So when you become a parent, you have a phone call. You get like this phone call from all the tooth fairy, the Easter bunny. They all call you up and they'll tell you what you have to do. And like in case of an emergency, he can't come. This is what you've got to do. So like it's kind of like being my cop out. So yeah.
So good. So did it work? Did she go? Did it fall?
Yeah, she still believes in it. I think she's like, I'm not sure what she's told her mum, but she went along with it. She was like, "Oh, okay." So don't worry, she'll do it next time. She's just like, she's really, really busy. So there's all those children and all those teeth, and she's like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, that was my cop out, is that we got a phone call when you become it, like the moment your child is born. Like the next day you get a phone call. It's like, you've got jobs to do now. This is how you become a parent.
This is good. This is really good. I like this.
So that's how your wife handled it was far funnier than I've gone far too logical and thought about things. It's like, no, she's like, she just. Don't make a cat. I could just imagine him walking out of his room, kind of like just scratching his head, thinking, "What's going on? Why am I so?"
Why does mom want this cat fed so bad? What do you use? Like, we have this little like mini pillow that goes under the actual pillow that the tooth goes. Is that what you got for your kiddo? Like, what do you put yours in?
It just goes just under like, we wrap it up in tissue paper, and then it goes, okay, and just goes underneath the pillow. So enough. So if the tooth fairy needs to find it, she knows she's looking for something wrapped up in tissue paper. Gotcha.
But I think it's my wife's. My wife's parents used it for her, and now we use it for Noah. But it's like the size of a ring box, basically, and it's like a little bitty pillow with like a little pocket in the front of it. And so you put the tooth there, and then you take the tooth out, and you put the money in, and you put it back on.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it works out pretty well, but because it's easier to find and all that jazz. But but yeah, so that's my dad corner story.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a good share.
Yeah. So. Well, all right. Let's go see what has been left on the notice for our bulletin board.
So, welcome to the bulletin board. Here we answer all the questions that our fans, the people in the Discord community, so fans from Twitter, people from Discord, we answer all your questions. It's fun. We enjoy it. It sparks up some really good debate. So we'll jump straight in. This week, Frostgold has asked, so this year marks the 20th anniversary of Animal Crossing, which I didn't realize.
I didn't either.
Do you think they will acknowledge the fact, or do you think they will just handle the series after such the success? What's the next update? They've been silent, and we're close to going back through the event cycles that we had last year. Nintendo did say they were supporting this game for 2 years, so what's next? I think we covered that a little bit in our worries in the Isabel's morning announcement section, but I really didn't realize it was the 20th anniversary. So like this game is 20 years old now. Well, the franchise, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think they'll acknowledge it. I don't think they're gonna do. I really don't think they're gonna like make an event out of it. I guess is what I'll say.
No,
maybe I'm totally naive, and it'll be like huge. But yeah, I think maybe you'll get an item or something, and they'll be like, "Here's your commemorative 20th anniversary item." I can totally see something like that. Gift to Nintendo.
Yeah. Most things tend to get from the 25th year onwards, isn't it? So you get your quarter of a century, and then that's when it's time you kind of celebrate it. So yeah, probably won't see anything major. We won't see a massive announcement from Nintendo, unless they feel like they want to ride it because it's done so well, and it's a good bit of advertisement for the game again, especially. But no, I don't think there's going to be a right lot to mark the 20th anniversary. But as to what we can see coming up for this next year, we said it before, we're not sure. It's quiet. Nintendo have been quiet. There's not been any massive announcements, which doesn't mean that tomorrow morning when you wake up, Nick, there could be an announcement.
Of course there will be. That's how this works. We all know this. Yeah, and I mean, it is interesting. They have said they'll support it for 2 years, but what that means is very vague. Like they've said they've supported it for 2 years for a year of free updates is kind of the feel of the whole thing. And that's why you'll really get a feel for what they mean by support this game for 2 years when we see what happens for Easter, for Bunny Day. If Bunny Day looks the same, then supporting it isn't going to be all new events, all new holidays for a second year. So yeah, I said it before, but this is a big month to figure out what's next for Animal Crossing. What does Nintendo plan for what's next for Animal Crossing?
Okay. So the next question comes from John over at Dad's After Dark. It says, Sean, where did you place your Mario pipes and how many did you use? So to answer that question, so far I've only put 3 pipes down. I've got one in the upstairs room in the house, one just outside the house, and one near Nook's Cranny, because that tends to be the only 2 places I go on the island. I am going to buy some more. I wanted to get loads of coins and stuff first, so I've spent a lot of time buying the coins to put those down. But pipes are next on the agenda. I need another 5, maybe 6 pipes. And it is random. It really is just a case of when you jump in that pipe, you can randomly either turn up in my house, turn up at Nook's Cranny, or turn up outside the house at the moment. So where it goes from there is going to be completely random. So, but I am going to do one where you just end up in one enclosed area and you've got to use the pipe to get out of that area. But yeah, that's as far as I've got with it so far.
I have.
How many have you used?
Just 2. Any more than 2, and it drive me insane. I can't have the randomness thing. It would just drive me insane. So I'll only ever use 2, unless I'm doing like a game or something, which I've tried to figure out how to use them in like a game style, but I haven't come up with anything yet. And so I have one out. I have one to the left of my Toad Town, which is kind of close to my house, and then the other one goes to the back right of my island because that's the furthest point away. And I figured that way, if I ever want to get back there real quick, I can get back there that way. It's close to Nook, or not Nook. It's close to Red and stuff like that. So, and it's also close to the cliff top if I ever want to fish on the cliff top. So, all those things, I put it back there.
Yeah, they are useful for if you spend a lot of time running between two places. It's probably. Oh, yeah. The next question comes from LPD. What's on your wish list for any Zelda Animal Crossing crossover items? So he's listed a couple of like Master Sword, a Triforce, or a Tingle costume. I think the Tingle costume would be pretty funny.
That would be great. Well, you go first. We'll go back and forth until we run out.
Yeah, definitely the Master Sword in this, like in a little stone plaque, like in Breath of the Wild near the Deku tree. That would be cool. So
yeah, that would be pretty sweet. I would like to see the Guardian. I would like to see like a large version of the Guardian, like the monster. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see.
Even a ruined one, so it'd look pretty good, packed up in the beach.
Yes, yeah. I'll take both versions. Yeah, and I mean, I want one that takes at least 9 squares, if not a few more. So
just like the size of the fountain, then. Yeah, that's quite big. That's a good area. Rupees. They've got with the coins. I'd like to see some rupees. That'd be pretty good. Or the pots. So you could just pick a pot up. You can't throw them, but you can still pick them up and carry them above your head.
That would be cool.
And chickens.
Chickens would be great.
Cuckoos.
I would like to see if they do something. I think it would be great if they brought you the items by beetles coming to your island to sell them. Like that would be my absolute favorite, if like they do a week-long thing where beetles just washes up on your island and he's there for like the entire week and he just wanders around and you can buy Zelda.
You see the guy in Breath of the Wild with the big backpack?
yeah.
Things like being able to buy an ocarina.
Yeah. Wait, we already have an ocarina, don't we? Yeah, we do.
Do it? Never mind.
Yeah, that's already
scrap that. Yeah. The little Deku tree sword and shield.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because everybody goes on about the Master Sword being like the iconic, but for me, that original shield with the red swirl on it.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. We already said rupees. It would be. I'm trying to think of something else that well, I mean, to go into costumes, I suppose. I'd love to have multiple versions of the Link costume. You know, like your Breath of the Wild, the blue tunic look, and then also a green, more like Link to the Past Link look as well.
Yeah, like Kid Link.
Yeah,
that look. Just trying to think what else. Maybe the slingshot, having been able to buy a slingshot that looks like Link's slingshot. So just a different color variant.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I like that idea.
And then the emote, so you could do like different like Link poses.
Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah, you could do those reactions and have the sword and all that stuff. Yeah. That would be do
the spin.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Have that be a way that you can take out weeds. I'd be all down for that. If they really wanted to be crazy, I mean, I don't think they do this, but if they really wanted to be crazy, they could sell they could introduce cooking to Animal Crossing. I mean, because we talked about this a while back about using the pumpkins, and now that they have the crops and all this stuff, but they could use Zelda as a way to introduce cooking into Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
Should be
I mean, you already have lots of fruit.
Huge.
So, the other one I think would be pretty good, which again, I can't see them doing this either, is having a Goron.
Oh, yeah.
So you walk up to him and you can like interact with it, and he kind of wakes up. And then obviously you walk away, you leave him for a while. He makes him
goes back down to his boulder. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be really cool. And to be fair, I really wish they would do that more with these events. Like with Mario. I mean, you could easily take like a Birdo and turn that into a new villager. Like, I think that would be really cool if they would just pick one character, maybe two, and just make like a new villager that is available to possibly get in the game.
I am slowly giving all the villagers on the island either Mario mustaches, Luigi mustaches, Princess Peach crowns, because I kind of like hoping that you just see them wearing them as you walk past.
Have you seen anybody wear them yet?
No, so far Ted's got it like displayed in his house on a mannequin, but he hasn't worn it. So.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. That's a really good idea. The fairy, just a large, like fairy pond where she comes out of the water. Yeah, just like that. I think that would be great. I think Animal Crossing fans would absolutely adore that, because that garden core is such a big thing. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, if you had just trying to think now, when with the festival stage, just a little pond about that size with like that you could walk through, and you could get the Zelda noise of the walking through water, but then have the pink fairies flying around it.
Yeah, people. I think Animal Crossing fans would love that.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we could probably carry on and say keep going crazier and crazier, but yeah, there's a lot they could do. There's a lot that they should do. So yeah.
But the one I really want, however they do it, I would really love to see them not use Nook Shopping and really have. I mean, I don't know. For me, that would just be that's like the thing I hope they do the most, is they somehow bring Beetles on your island for a period of time, because he is like I don't know, the guy that you buy stuff from. Unless you wanted to do there's the boat shop from Wind Waker too that they use. You could have that park at like the dock or something. Like that would be pretty cool too. But something like that instead of just like putting these promo items on your phone. I think that would be great. Like, could you imagine if there was a Toad Hut that popped up on your island for a few weeks, and that's where amazing. You bought the Mario items from?
Yeah, and I wouldn't want the Toad to have the Animal Crossing look. I'd want him to be Toad.
Yeah, it would be great. He's like, hey, I just came here, built this hut. I don't know how long I'll be here, but you can buy items from me.
Captain Toad's boat.
The Toad boat.
Yeah, with Captain Toad. So, selling exotic items.
That would be so cool. Like that'd be a much more unique way, and I'm sure there's probably a lot of coding issues and all that stuff, but that would be a much more unique way to bring those items into Animal Crossing than just being like, hey, there's a promo section on your phone.
Yep. So the next question again is another crossover question from Datfast. Would anybody be up for Pokemon items to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Pokemon?
Sure.
I wouldn't mind having like a tiny little Pikachu running around in the weeds.
That would be pretty fun.
Pokeballs.
Yeah, so first off, let me say I just started to play Pokemon games on the Switch. I played Let's Go Pikachu and I played Sword and Shield. I missed the series before that. Like I just never got involved. Those were my first two. And I've enjoyed them. Like I'm not like a Pokemon. I don't do a ton with it, but I have enjoyed those games. So it's harder for me. Well, first off, to answer the question, would I be up for Pokemon items in the game? Sure. I have no problem with it. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my history of Pokemon is from original Game Boy. So I was a Pokemon Yellow starter. So when they brought Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee out, I was really excited because it was back to that original game, but with like the Link's Awakening style treatment. So I really enjoyed that. Didn't play anything else in between because I couldn't get over and I'll say this all the time, I can't get over the fact that there's more generations of Pokemon. I'm a Gen 1 Pokemon player. That's it.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind if they're in there. I have unlike Zelda, which I have like the full breadth of no pun intended, but sure, why not, pun intended. The full breadth of all the Zeldas in tow. I've played most of them. With Pokemon, I'm really kind of like, I don't know. I'm sure there's a million things. Like a seasoned Pokemon player who also loved Animal Crossing could probably name off a bazillion things to throw in the game that Pokemon players would love, and I'd be down with it.
It's just like it's like actually having like Pokemon. If you could get a couple of the big ones, so I say Pikachu, Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur. I'm just thinking ones that were in the original Pokemon series that are really easy to match with island style looks. But if you could have a Lapras, that'd be amazing. Just swimming around in the sea.
Yeah. And I still say that they bring over a Charmander as a character, except make him kind of, halfway in between the Charizard look and like Drago, from Animal Crossing. Like find a way to maybe give him that tail with the little fire or whatever on it, and just so that he has the touches of Pokemon. Put a new character. I just think characters like that are a really cool way to cross over to another IP.
And that's it. We've got. That's just 4 questions this week. Some of them are pretty like Frosticles. There was a big question. We could have covered that in a lot more depth, but we like I said, we have done that before. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy people's questions. It sparks, especially like when we get really controversial ones.
Yeah, and it means the world to us that you guys are, just willing to chat with us. And I mean, it's why we love the game. The community is why we love the game, and the fact that you guys are willing to ask us questions and banter back and forth on our channel. I mean, we love it. We appreciate it a ton.
So, we do have a little bit of a gaming topic this week, but I think it mainly revolves around like the direct was good. I mean, me and Nick were having a chat before we started about like I think Noah asked you the question of what's next, basically, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, it's great, And I mean, we talked about the direct last cast. We both really liked it. But I guess I just didn't really think about. Noah said, what's the next game we're gonna play together, Dad? Like, what's coming out next? And I was like, I just didn't have anything. Like, I was like, I don't know, bud. I mean, I'm sure we'll find something to play. You're still into Splatoon. We can play that. But he was looking for something new, like something. And when you go down the list of the direct, like, I don't know, like I was telling you, where's like the Yoshi game or the Kirby game or that kid game that sits in the April time period, did that just get booted because of COVID, or like, I don't know.
There was no like sit down family games really released. I mean, we've got Mario Golf coming 3 or 4 months down the line. But that's 3 or 4 months down the line. It's like you've either got a lot of Bowser's Fury to play,
yeah, that's
or like you say, revisit different games. I didn't think of it really when we were looking for all the games. I was looking at like what would I like to play, not
right.
what could you play with, like what could I play with Emily, or what could I play, like get Jaya to try and get involved in playing. There was no like additions to anything. Like if there was like a DLC pack for Mario Party where you got some more boards or different gameplays,
I'd fall over dead.
Like
not gonna lie, I would be so excited for that.
Yeah, I'm sick to death of the same for game boards. But yeah, I mean that's about as much as we can say really for his gaming topic. Is that we haven't got anything exciting to say, but we're also a bit like Noah. What is next?
Yeah, I mean, if you're like, I mean, I guess if you're a parent and you got kids and you're looking for Nintendo, normally fills that gap of like the kid-friendly thing. And I mean, I don't need something every like month. That's fine. I mean, Noah doesn't get to game a ton. Like, I mean, we're kind of just coming to the end of Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. That'll probably last us, quite frankly, another month. But yeah, it's like, well, golf is there, but golf, I mean, he'll play Mario Golf, I'm sure, but he's not going to really love it. I doubt. He might. I could be completely wrong. Maybe he'll love that Super Rush mode and he'll think it's the coolest thing in the world. But yeah, it's just surprising to me that they don't have anything available.
Yeah. Have you got anything else to add?
Yeah, I do. Most of us know and have heard the news that the Nintendo guru, Bobby Balls, has passed away from COVID. And if you haven't heard the Nintendo Dads episode from last week, what'll be 2 weeks ago from when you're hearing this, it is an amazing episode of how I'm just really paying an homage to all that Bobby did and all the lives he touched and just how loving and caring of a guy he was. We had him on our podcast. He was gracious enough to come on our little 1 episode old podcast when he certainly didn't need to. I mean, he did a ton for us. We did not for him, but that's just a part of who he was and how much he wanted to just prop up the community as a whole. It wasn't all about him. It was about everybody.
He had a great love for the game and like all the videos he did and stuff and all the different pictures. And yeah, he had a great love for the game of Animal Crossing and for the Nintendo community. So yeah, he really did. And so we wanted to end this episode with some of Bobby's words that you have not heard from our podcast. It was some banter between him and between all of us after we closed out and stopped recording, and we thought it would be just a good way to end our podcast as a way to show how much Bobby was just such a great guy. And so just enjoy these, just listen to the last words and we just pray for his family and that they're just doing the best they can.
Okay, wait a minute. If you're not done, don't stop recording or don't stop recording. Let me do the intro, okay?
Oh, there you go. Go for it.
There you go. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you're listening to this show, you're probably going, why is this idiot talking to me and rambling like this? My name is Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, and I just got to warn you guys. You are going to listen to some stuff, and I'm going to come in very heavy and hot, and I'm going to give you a lot of tips that you might not want to know about. So if you want to go in fresh, you want to go in new and baby fresh and all that stuff, you're a dad, you're a Nintendo dad and all that stuff, just take a step back, take a deep breath. Don't listen to this episode just yet. Give yourself a week or two, and then come back and enjoy. Thank you.
There you go.
So you can do it better. Whatever one you want to use.
No, because I like the just yet part because I was thinking we basically just told him skip our podcast.
Yeah, skip
no
the
reason to
podcast.
listen to this
Yeah,
shit.
no reason to listen to Bobby. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
You know what? It does make sense because I would be honest with you. If I was listening, some of the stuff I'd be excited about, and then some of the stuff I'd be like, "What are you? I don't want to hear that. Like that's the worst." You know. So no, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I
Thanks.
just didn't like the fact you blamed it on me. The hell? I'm like, you're asking me. You're like,
I
you
mean,
got tips on this, you got tips on that. Yeah, here we go.
Hey,
oh,
just
by the
because
way,
it's our podcast doesn't mean you have to talk. I'm just saying.
oh Jesus.
We invite guests on so that we can put them under the bus at the end.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Hey, we're all Nintendo dads here. That's what we do.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're the opposite. We're like, hey, this is the Nintendo dads are like, go first. We're like, well, at Dad Crossing, we invite you on so that we can just throw you under the bus. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Awesome.
all right, I think I'm probably gonna play some more Animal Crossing.
that's what I'm gonna
I
go
don't-
do right now.
It's 5 a.m. So
I don't have to go to bed. So, look, he's already got it.
heads
Sean's like, I ain't wait, man. Screw this.
I got nothing else to do today, so I'm going to bed.
Listen,
to be honest, I am sheltered in place as of an hour ago. So
oh man.
good, I might as well play some Animal Crossing.
I'll
This
tell you.
game could not have dropped at a better time. For
Oh,
me.
it's the
Yeah.
best.
It's this. Yeah, I think to give it the game of the year contention, I think it's because a lot of people are going to play it
Yeah.
in this setting. Yeah,
Mhm.
The thing
I mean, we hit
the thing we
three
didn't get
last.
into the thing we didn't get into at all, but man, I got a feeling this thing is going to do gangbusters in terms of numbers. Like I think this is going to blow away anything that we've seen from Animal Crossing ever. Like New Leaf did like 15 million, right? I think this does close to 15 million first month. Like, and I don't even believe that is because let's be honest. Show of hands, who bought more than one copy?
Just me. But I made up for them because I just bought 4 copies. I just bought the 4th copy today. I bought 2 for me, 1 for my mother because she was like, I can't afford it. And then one, well, I don't know. I don't know if you haven't seen this yet, Bobby. Good friend of mine.
Oh, good God.
Good friend of mine gave me that. I just can't help but point it out. I know this is the 3rd time. Dan's like, would you just get it? I was just like,
Get that thing out of my shot. Get out of here.
Yeah. I did the same thing though. I bought 4 copies. I bought 2 physical, and 2 digital, and like there's multiple people buying multiple copies.
And Nintendo knew we were going to do that. We got all this bitching about one island per system. Everybody's buying multiple copies and nobody cares anymore.
Nobody even gives a shit. I said
Nobody
that.
cares.
I told Justin that. I go, tell Marty to shut up.
Oh
I
my
said,
God.
every week he's complaining
Dude.
about the same shit. And I said, nobody's going to care the minute this game drops. Justin's like, Bobby, stop. I'm like, I'm not stopping, dude. Like, if I got to listen to him one more week complain about not being able to transfer save files, like, enough. We get
Man,
it. It sucks.
I
but
have a
nobody
memory.
cares.
I have a memory of Marty saying something to the effect of like, "Man, there's no info about Animal Crossing. I bet this game's going to be a dud." I want to find that clip.
Oh.
Just play it back to him. I'd be like, Marty,
It's going
shut
to
your mouth.
explode. Dude, this game is going to be like nothing we've ever seen. I'm telling you, man. This game is going to do huge numbers, man. Huge
Bobby,
numbers.
if you want to see what Dan can really do, you just the day after Marty's like 2nd week of like the save, the transfer, I have to use my OG switch. Like Dan starts DMing me like just like 4-letter words.
I did the same thing. I messaged Sean. Like me and Sean had like a blowout, not a blowout, but we had a disagreement on our like 3rd episode of the Cup of Joe and Nintendo, right? Because he's kind of in that camp of like, dude, I want to be able to transfer and I want cloud saves. And I'm like, just stop, Mr. Xbox. Like, that's bullshit. We don't need to hear that. Like, I don't want to hear it. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening and I'm like, dude, like, I get that you're in Marty's camp, but this is week 3. And now he's asking the guests to chime in on something he's pissed off about. And I get it. You're not happy about it. But, dude, this is not okay to just keep on. Like, I'll be honest with you. I said to Justin just last week, I said, listen, you guys get stuff from Nintendo. And there's a difference between constructive criticism and just railing on something. And I'm like, you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful because they will cut you off in a second. And I'm like, you guys have worked way too hard to get where you are. You're like, I get it. You're upset. But at some point, you just got to be like, deep breath and like, okay, I said my piece and I'm moving on. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you get caught in that, especially when you're doing what we're doing. You have that microphone in front of you, you can just rail off, and it's like, but he's going to be.
I had to stop myself when Pokemon came out because I'm a huge Pokemon fan, and nothing about Sword or Shield got me excited. So
Really?
I had to stop myself. I did eventually buy a copy and play.
Yeah.
It's pretty dang good.
That's the thing. You get caught up in this moment where you're bashing on it, you're railing on it, and then all of a sudden the game comes out. It's like, shit, this game's amazing. You know, like, dude, that's the thing. Like that, and that's what I kept wanting to say. Well, at one point there was like a bit of a Twitter thing going on. It was me, Marty, and it was Donnie Reese, because they brought it up to me, and I'm like, guys, first off, you're talking first world problems. Most people don't even have a Switch.
Yeah.
You guys are bitching about having 3 Switches and having to decide what you're going to use that day. By the way, your original Switch is a portable console. Like, you're acting like you have to have a Switch Lite in order to go someplace. Like, stop. Most people don't want to hear you complaining about this shit, because most people can't afford one or the other. And you're complaining like, oh, I got 2, and I'm like, stop. It's not that big a deal.
That's what we're here for. We're here to be excited about Animal Crossing, to love what we love. There's not much to complain about anyway. So
it was pretty great.
Right?
You'd have them like railing, and we'd be like, "It's Animal Crossing. We can't wait." Like we were just polar opposites.
The funny thing was, this is no lie. The week that Pat, my co-host Pat and Nintendo Talk, was on there, he comes to me after. He goes, "Do you know the Nintendo dads are starting an Animal Crossing podcast?" And I'm like, who the hell's doing that? I'm like, these guys are talking trash on the game every week. Who's doing that? And
they had to find people to do it, because that's what.
Well, then all of a sudden, I realized it's not more. I really thought it was like Marty and Jesse and I'm like, these guys are talking shit every week. They're really going to be recording this? Yep. This ain't good, man. They
had to find us. They were like, does anybody like Animal Crossing here?
You're like, man, no. But our Discord, I mean, that channel, that Animal Crossing channel is like blowing up.
Dude,
I had to shut off the notifications because I was like, dude, I can't do any work.
Mine's the same way. I'm streaming, and I got like 5 or 6 people watching the stream with me and hanging out in Discord, just bullshit with each other, all playing together. Sure. Like I'm getting like 5, 6 people a day joining Discord and then jumping right into the Animal Crossing stuff. I'm like, this is madness. This is just nuts. So
I love you guys. Hey, Bobby, you want to join us for another episode at some point? That'd be great. I would love that.
Listen, this fucking midnight thing. Come on, guys.
I mean, not next week. Just maybe in a month or so.
You know what? We'll even give you the right date if you come back, Bobby.
Yeah, that.
Don't talk to Jesse. Talk to one of us.
How about you? It wasn't Jesse. It was Justin.
Justin. Yeah.
That son of a bitch. He likes to do that to me. This is God's honest truth. If you guys give me like just a week's notice.
Yeah.
And that way what I'll do is I'll come home from work and I'll go take a nap. And then I'll wake up and then I can record. Cool. I wouldn't have a problem with that. Because I literally normally I'd be getting up in 5 hours to go to work. Sure. So I don't want to do that. But I like that you guys keep it precise to an hour. I love that. Like that's perfect.
Yeah.
I go on Nintendo Dads and I'm there fucking forever. And I'm like, come on. They brought me on the week. They had like the 500,
fucking, right?
Yeah,
it was like a 3.5 hour episode.
I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, I'm typing to Sean like this shit's still going, man. I'm like, I'm cool. It's cool you brought Zach back, but shit, man. Like, you didn't need me this week. You could have brought me next week. So
it'll be in a month or so. We'll ask and see if you're available.
No, I'll be. Listen, one thing you'll know about me is I will be. I'm available whenever you want me, whenever you need me. Don't even hesitate. Just like I said, just give me a little bit of notice, and we'll be good to go. It was a pleasure meeting all you guys.
Right on.
Wait, who's the asshole that came into my streaming and subbed to me?
That's me.
Sean, thank you very much for that, Sean. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, man.
Oh, it was good to watch.
I was like, I didn't know which one of these was, and I was like, wait a minute. But because I don't know your face, because you guys aren't on faces, so I didn't know your faces. Now I actually see who everybody is. So now that we're face to face, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
it's not a problem.
Okay.
Good deal.
All right, guys. You have a wonderful evening, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.